Half a day, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel, Chandler's Retirement Life. It's a good life. In today's video, I'm going to talk about all the good things that I like about retirement. And I do like retirement. You see, retirement, it's a unique time of your life. It's a wonderful phase, and it's filled with all kinds of opportunities, to seek your passions, or if you're like me, you just want to relax and kind of enjoy the little things in life. But if you're not retired, so I want to give you an example of what retirement life kind of feels like. And if you are retired, let me know in the comments if this example that I'm going to give really resonates with you. So I want to take you all the way back to graduation, right? Whether you're graduating from high school or you're graduating from college. In your academic life, that academic environment, it was all about, going there to structure time, right? You had to get a grade. You had to read books. You took tests. You have to give speeches, maybe. You had to do reports. You had to read a lot of books, do a lot of problem solving. Especially if you were doing math, right? There was a lot of things like that you had to do, and most of the time, you took work home and you did homework. You did homework and you came back in the next day and you turned it in. And that was always stressful, right? You go home and you're trying to figure maybe a problem out, or you're trying to read, and they make you find or answer or give definitions. You name it, it was always stressful. So it was a balance of, so do I go out and play with my friends, or do I hang out with my friends, or do I stay home and study? Then all those exams that you had to take, right? You had to cram for all these tests because you knew that you had to graduate. You had to graduate high school to move on, or you had to graduate college because you were paying for it, or mom and dad was paying for it, or the government was paying for it. But you needed to get that good grade so you could move on to that next phase of life. And so once you graduate, all that stress of taking those tests, study, reading them books, everything you did in that environment is now off your shoulders. You don't ever have to worry about that again, unless you want to, right? Because some people after high school they go to college, or after they get their bachelor's degree they want to go and they want to get their master's degree. So you might like that stressful life. You might like it. Might not even be a stressful life for you, but you might like it. Just like some people in the work life, they like work, right? Work is good for them. They enjoy that. But there's other people that for them, the responsibilities and the priorities in your work life is stressful, right? It's really stressful. And then one day you retire, and then just like graduation, all that stress in your work life is lifted off your shoulders. You're not responsible for anything anymore, right? You don't have to worry about those meetings. You don't have to worry about any of those things. And that leads me to the first thing that I like about being retired, and that is no more work-life activities, right? And the work-life activities, what am I talking about? Well, you got to get up early in the morning. You got to drive to work, right? That's a frustrating drive sometimes. For me, I had to drive from Fort Worth to Dallas, Texas, right? And in the mornings, that was about a 45-minute drive, simply because I get up early and I can beat the traffic. But I could never beat the traffic coming home, right? I'll get stuck in that no matter what. So that usually turns into 1 hour, 15 minutes to 1 hour and 45 to 2 hours, depending. Especially if somebody got into an accident, and there was always accidents on the road. Hell, I would even take the express, and the express will have accidents, and that'll slow it down. And when there's an accident there, it just would take forever. So no more work activities, right? I don't have to worry about that long, frustrating drive going to work, and that would get me every day. I keep driving by buildings saying, I know they want an HR director at that building. Why don't I just go find a job a little closer to home, right? No more meetings, all right? In my work life, it was just a meeting after meeting after meeting. And every time you have a meeting, guess what? When you leave, that's more work to do, right? more things to plan, more priorities, more deadlines. It never ends, right? There's another project going, something else is happening, and then also there's no more people problems. I'm HR, so I have to deal with all the people problems, all the investigations, all the hiring, all the termination. It could just drive you crazy, right? Drive you really crazy. But just like graduation, once you retire, all that stress from work, everything, that's just lifted off your shoulder. No more do you have to worry about meetings. Sometimes you might have nightmares about missing a meeting, but once you retire, you don't have to worry about that no more. It is gone. No more work-life activities. Gone and done. And talking about done, the second thing that I like, that I love about being retired is getting paid for doing nothing. And I say getting paid for doing nothing, but you know what? I work for that nothing money. All right. So I was getting, or I'm currently getting, a military pension. Right. So I kind of work for that. I did 23 years. I worked my butt off to get that 50 plus pension. And then I'm getting Social Security. Well, I paid into it. I might as well get it back, right? That's just part of what most people do. But I love being or getting paid and not having to do nothing. I enjoy, not having to submit my time. Remember at work, depending on what type of job you had, you still have to submit your time, the days that you worked. Some places it's the hours that you work. You have to submit that. And if you didn't, you might not get paid. So you always wanted to focus on making sure that was accurate before your 1 week or your 2 weeks were done, and you had to submit your time. Because again, if you didn't submit it right, they didn't pay you. Well, guess what? In retirement, I don't have to worry about that. My pay goes directly to direct deposit. So no matter what I'm doing, my pay hits my accounts. That's that easy. I could be out on my boat fishing somewhere else and not even have to worry about it. And it's just reassuring. It's a great feeling to know that my money's going to hit my accounts no matter what I'm doing. And in my work life, I always have to worry about those things like being laid off, the company downsizing, right sizing, plant closures. Then you got to think about, how am I going to pay for my bills, right? If I get caught up in that, and even if I was HR, I've been in jobs where I would do the layoffs for everybody, and then 2-3 weeks later, they let me go. Right? They planned it like that. That as just layoffs. It's just a cycle of any business, right? We hire, fire, we let people go, we hire people back. But being retired, I don't lose any sleep anymore about money, about getting my money, because now my money goes directly into my accounts. And I talked about not losing sleep no more, and that kind of ties right into the third thing that I love about being retired, and that is sleep. So in my work life, man, I was always tired, whether it was in the Army or even as a civilian. No matter what, I was always stressed and I was always tired. I was trying to raise a family, right? Got 2 kids, they got their priorities, playing their sports. So I had to find that work-life balance between trying to do those things for my wife and kids, at the same time worrying about all my priorities at work, at the same time trying to keep my physical fitness, because I don't want to get sick. And part of that is getting enough sleep. So in retirement, I can go to sleep whenever I want, wake up whenever I want, take naps whenever I want. It's endless. If I don't feel good, I just sleep in, right? It's no problem. But you really got to create a routine, right? I wouldn't recommend your ability to not have to wake up, or you can go to sleep whenever you want, to create even more problems for you because your body doesn't have that routine, right? Of getting up and going to sleep at a normal time. Um, I normally get up 7 o'clock, right? Because I trade the market. So most days, 7 o'clock, I'm on my computer. I'm studying the markets, getting ready for it to open. But some people, they have different priorities in their life. Um, but if I wasn't feeling good, I just roll over and keep sleeping. Right? It's not a problem. Or if I got up and then at 10 o'clock I was feeling tired, I'll go sit on my easy boy chair and take a nap, right, and go to sleep. So sleeping, waking up, going to sleep, taking naps, staying fresh. Uh, and one of my friends, guy named Mike, and I'll make sure that I link his YouTube channel at the end of my video here or in the description. He told me one time, he made a video one time, basically said that people that take naps, they're more smarter, more clever, right? Because they're more fresher. And so I like being smart, so I'll take a nap almost every day, and that's not a problem. But I'll link his page, and you can see what he said about taking a nap. But another thing that I love about being retired is, I don't worry about the weather no more. And I don't mean whether or not, I mean the weather, the storms, right? So in my work life, if I scheduled something, whether it was to go fishing or a birthday party for one of the kids, or a project at the house, and it rained, well, it just ruined that, right? And so I had to put off that activity until the next weekend, because that's the next time I'm going to have a day off, right? It's the next weekend. And pretty soon, what I found was that majority of my projects were getting backed up, right? From pushing things back. And it's probably why when I did retire, I had a laundry list of to do things. And so I still don't think I've worked through that big laundry list. I still got a bunch of projects that I got to do. But the difference is in retirement, if I have something scheduled, like I'm going to go fishing on Tuesday, and it rains on Tuesday, no problem. I'll stay home, do something else, and then go fishing the next day if it is nice. And it's when we talk about the weather and all that, I like to when we do things, we turn things around, right? Saturday and Sunday we usually stay home. Sunday because we got to watch our football games. But the weekends when everybody else has off, that's when we want to stay home because that's when everybody is out doing their things. It's the weekdays when we like to go out and do something because everybody's at work, all right? And there's less traffic, there's less everything, there's less confrontation. You go to the store, there's less people in the store shopping, and so it's a lot better when you do things on the weekdays. But we don't worry about the weather no more. If we have to put something off for the next day, we can do that, right? The weather is never a problem because we have that attitude of, you know what, I can do it tomorrow. We have that flexibility, which is that number 5, that 5th thing that I loved about retirement, which is flexibility. So I have flexibility. So nothing in retirement is a I have to do, right? So I don't have to do nothing if I don't want to do it, unless it's something that my wife tells me to do. Then that becomes the priority, right? I think we're all like that. Retirees, if you're like that, let me know in the comments, right? Let me know in the comments because our whole work life we I won't say ignore, but our wives, our spouses have kind of lost out, right? They weren't the priority, but now in retirement, they are the priority, right? So you want to try to make up for all those times that you couldn't be there for them. And so now's the time to do it. So in retirement, if we change our minds about doing something or going somewhere, changing plans, that's okay. It's no big deal, right? There's nowhere that you have to go in a hurry. So if we decide to travel somewhere or go on a day drive, which is kind of what we like to do, right? Every now and then we like to just get in our car, go the back roads, and just drive and look at the little things that's all around us. There are so many little towns around us. We enjoy just driving through them and seeing what's out there versus getting on the highway and driving long distance. But that's something that we really like. So flexibility in our lives, it's easy. When we go to visit our son or daughter, and we decide that let's stay another day. We can do that. We don't have to be home, right? There's nothing at home that is pulling us back there other than our pets. But if we wanted to stay another day, another 2 days, another week, we could do that. We have that flexibility, right, in our retirement, which ties right into the sixth thing that I like about retirement, which is being rushed. In our work life, we're always rushed, right? Are always late. Got to get up in the morning, got to shower, get dressed, rush, get in that traffic, and then everything slows down. But then you finally get to work, and it's all about rushing again, right? Everything is a rush. It's difficult, and it always seems like we're late. It seems like we're always running behind time, and that's what makes life a little stressful, right? Because you're always wanting to get somewhere at a certain time, and then you don't make it, right? And it might be your fault, might be traffic's fault, or who knows, but you're just feeling frustrated and you're feeling mad. That causes a lot of arguments, right? A lot of fights. Let me just say, you know what? Men get dressed faster, and I'll just leave it there. But in retirement, you don't have to be anywhere at any specific time. You can actually slow down, and like I said, you see the little things in life, see the little things all around you. Home projects, right? If they don't get completed in a day, where in my work life, I only had that Saturday, I have to get it done in one day. If I don't get it completed in one day, that's okay. I'm not in a rush. I can schedule it over numerous days, right? Take my time to get it done. Talking about scheduling, that's the seventh thing that I really like about retirement is I control my schedule, right? Anything that I want to do or don't want to do, I control that. Before retirement, everything was controlled for me, right? Your schedule was dictated by your work-life priorities. Oh, excuse me, and your boss, right? Your boss kind of controlled you. What time you have to report in, when you take your lunch, when the end of the day is. If you wanted to take or you wanted to come in late, you'd have to ask permission. You want to go home early, you have to ask permission. You want a day off, you have to ask permission. You want to take vacation time, you have to ask permission, right? But in retirement, you control your schedule, right? You give your permission. You give yourself permission to wake up late, go to bed early, go to bed late. Sometimes I like staying up late just watching YouTube channels, right? Supporting those creators that I subscribe to. Get on there, watch their videos, and give them a thumbs up. I can do that. But in retirement, you want to create your new normal, right? Your new routine, your new schedule, right? You have to figure that out. Whatever pleases you, that's what you create. You need time off? Not a problem. You have a universal pass to come in, to work late, to leave early, to take days off, to take vacation time at any time you want. Which leads me to the eighth thing that I really like about being retired, and that is who I am becoming, right? I've been retired for about 3 years now, and really like who I'm becoming, and my wife really likes who I'm becoming, right? With no stress, I'm really feeling good, really feeling physically fit. When when you don't have that stress in your life, you don't worry about things in your life, then you're generally that much more happier. Um, you have a positive outlook, right? Every day I wake up, um, I say a prayer. I thank the Lord for giving me another day. I can just lay there and think about all the things that I'm happy for, that I appreciate, that I don't take for granted, because I know that nothing in life is guaranteed. And when you wake up and you have another day, that's another day for you to be happy and enjoy your retirement. I got a go-lucky type of attitude, which just makes me a very positive person. There's nothing negative about retirement. Everything is good. I wake up with a smile. I go to sleep with a smile whenever I want. Uh, and I'm a whole lot more easier to get along with and more agreeable. All right, everything is a yes, ma'am. You want something? Yeah, no problem. I can do that. I can fix that. I can go to IHOP and get you breakfast. That's not a problem. You know, I enjoy doing that now versus in my work life. That created more stress in my life. So I like the person that I'm becoming. I'm becoming more of a easygoing person, and I hope my wife is loving me even that much more. So with that, those are the reasons why I really love retirement. And if you're not retired, those are the things you have to look forward to, right? It's there if you want it, and you're capable, right? It's there. If that's the type of lifestyle that you want, jump on it. And if you're already retired, let me know in the comments if you agree, or maybe I forgot something. Maybe I left something out. Let me know what I left out. But this is Chandler's Retirement Live saying it's a good life. Lights out.